But yeah, welcome to the stream. Um, I'll talk about it really quickly. I'm not gonna make like a big deal of it here, but I'll just kind of talk about it just slightly. Probably was slightly apparent that I wasn't streaming at all this week. That wasn't the original intention. Uh, Again, I'm gonna make a long story short, but yeah, I had a tooth problem that originated about a week ago or a little over a week ago. Um, I late last week, so like Thursday or Friday, one of the loves of my life, homemade from scratch pizza that I make myself, for food. I cooked a little extra too long, maybe, but not really. It was fine. It was a crispy crust. And I got to the crust on one slice, and I bit down as you do when you eat, and I felt the most weird sensation, like tooth sensation, that didn't immediately hurt, but it felt very weird, and I was like, "That's strange." But then I continued to eat, and it wasn't fine. Like I said, I wasn't in immediate pain. But then about into like Saturday into Sunday range is when the pain started. And I was in, by the time Sunday late day happened, I was in pretty bad throbbing pain, like constant, in my mouth. And basically, that kicked off like this whole thing, basically the start of my whole week this week. Sunday, going into Monday, going into Tuesday, and basically going into most of Wednesday until I got the operation done. Um, Again, making a long story short, but basically I was running on fumes those days. I was, due to the pain, I was unable to get any sleep at night. I wasn't really able to eat at all. The only things I was having was like water and like shitty protein drinks that I was able to get my hands on. So no sleep, no food for about 3 days for me. Don't recommend it. It's basically, it was like tooth torture. Um, to the point where I basically had to schedule an emergency like dentist tooth appointment thing on Wednesday. Went in the morning, cost a pretty penny. Had it checked out, and then that afternoon they were able to fit me into like basically. Again, I'm making a very long story short, but basically a glorified filling and cap and crown, I guess, situation. I'm not exactly sure how it all, what the, terminology and all. But basically, in the hopes that we're not going to have to go further in and do a more, root canal and extra stuff type situation. But basically, as you probably could have guessed from what I said at the beginning, I must have had like a pretty weak tooth there. It is like one of my front teeth. It is the front tooth on my left side. Bit down and just completely shattered a tooth. Like almost in half, apparently, or something, if I was looking at the pictures correctly. Which, again, I don't advise. And also, I think this was cosmically the universe kind of shitting on me because this is the really boring stuff, but when what they call open enrollment for insurance things happened where I work, I basically, for a lot of reasons, I don't need to get into them, but for one reason, I took off my dental insurance off of my plan because, again, I don't want to get into the whole maths and everything of it all, but I was basically convinced that I would be fine for at least taking off dental insurance for a year. And then right as the year starts here, we're a few days into January, this happens. So yeah, I am a lot less richer, just due to this. And the scary thing is, if this doesn't work, which now we're a couple days removed from it, seems like it is going to work. So I think we're going to be fine. But the root canal process, paying out of pocket, obviously, would be very bad for me. I could technically foot it, but That's like a number and stuff that I probably don't want to approach if I have to. I already am upset that I lost the money I did for what I had to do for an emergency. Like, I had to schedule, I think scheduling it like so rapidly probably affects things. Basically not fun of a situation. The pain was one thing, the process was another thing, and then the end product where I'm lesser a lot of money is another thing that I'm upset about. But it is what it is. I just have to roll with it. So yeah, all that to say that I was not in video game condition, like even playing video games, let alone streaming condition for the first half of this week. Like I said, I was running on fumes basically. I had no sleep, no food. I was just like, and imagine the first couple of days of the week where I didn't even think I was going to schedule a dentist thing. I was trying all these different things. I was like, oh, if I put numbing gel in my mouth, I'm sure I'll be fine and this will blow over in a couple of days. And it was not blowing over in a couple of days. Oh my God. So yeah, that sucked. As far as it's related to the channel here, obviously I wasn't streaming. So I kind of spaced out some of the VODs that I had on in the chamber. Those are gone now. But also, I barely got any work done on my top 10 games of last year video, which is very unfortunate. I'm going to try very, very hard to have that video out by next Friday. That's my goal. I don't know if I'm going to be able to accomplish it. It's all shot, basically. I just have to do a lot of work in the editing process, which means I have to, like, focus and, like, which is hard for me, obviously, and edit it. But also, part of most of that video was shot while I was in pain. So there's this funny aspect where, like, I knew as I was filming it where, like, the pain was starting to come. And I'm doing all these things. It's just a whole mess. But it is what it is. It's going to have to be what it is. Like I said, I'm not going to try to make it sound more dramatic than it is. It was scary. I've never had dental work done to my mouth in my life like that. So I was like, shit, this sucks. And I was also afraid that the first thing we were doing wasn't going to fix the problem. So I was like, shit, I'm going to be paying multiple thousands of dollars after this just to get something done. Like, there was a lot of ifs. There was a lot of things up in the air, especially when before even the first consultation, I didn't know exactly what it was going to shake out, what the damages were. Like, I didn't know anything. So yeah, that all sucked. I don't advise to have, if you can help it, any dental problems ever in your life. I don't know. That sucked. It sucked, though. It definitely sucked. And now, like I said, I'm like 2 days away from the actual thing being done to me. And it feels weird, which I guess is just normal. So I'm getting over it. I still am so afraid to actually... It's my front tooth. I'm afraid... Like, I've done it. I've had to test it out. But I'm so afraid of, like biting food. Like, I just don't trust anything now. But, like, what? Am I going to go the rest of my life just not biting down food with my front tooth? Like, what, if I could, I mean, maybe. A whole lot of anxiety going on throughout this week for me. And then on top of all that, I'm still coughing and hacking up a lung like I'm like I'm some person that just constantly coughs. And so I'm all just like, basically all I'm saying is I'm falling apart. You may not have me on this stream for that much longer, so enjoy me while I'm here. I'm old now. I'm withering away. My life is falling apart. It's all downhill from here. Let's make the most of my life while I'm still able to sit at my desk. and play video games. But yeah, I just wanted to say, like I said, not trying to make it more dramatic than it is, hopefully, and hopefully it's all good from here on out. Um, but I felt like I at least wanted to explain why I was just like gone for a week. Because I think I streamed on Sunday. That was when pain started happening. And I even said I'd be back on Monday, obviously. And what we're going to do today is what we kind of were going to do on Monday, slightly. So there's just like an empty, like, gap thing. I always say, if I'm gone for like multiple days without any reason stated in the last stream, then like something's happening, and clearly something was happening. That's the best way I can put it. But it's all good.